if I'm in love, if I have a partner, I want it to be like my mom and dad. तुझा पासून कर्मेना तुझ्या शिवाय राहावे. I think there's some something. Yeah, people call me natural star and everything, but you shined in the sea. Yashna is shining, and he's proudly sending me like, look, you've shined more, and I'm so happy that you did. I said, who are you? What are you?
Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. If there's someone who could be a textbook example of doing it all and letting her work do all the talk, it is Mrunal Thakur, and she's joining me today only on India Today. Hello, how are you?
Textbook and all. I feel so happy, Bhavna. What are these introductions?
No, but
I love
really,
it.
I mean every word of it, also because I feel that I have seen your journey actually from the very beginning when I remember watching you. Let's talk about Hi Nana first, because that is a film that made me cry and sob like a baby.
Oh,
and I don't remember
I'm
the
sorry.
last. I wanted to ask, the little bit that I know about you, of course, is the fact that you are a person who believes in love and is sensitive. Yashna, however, has this cycle where she's cynical about love, of course because of the experiences that she has had, to finally believing in love, to finally believing in things she did not. How important, but at a certain point she didn't, which meant that there was a conflict between Mrunal and Yashna, right? Because Mrunal believes in love, Yashna doesn't at a certain point. How do you manage the conflicts between characters? Because I believe that as a human being, it's impossible to not judge your character at any point. There are points where it will clash.
Wow,
right?
I love this question already.
So how do you manage those?
So when I'm doing a scene, especially in the school in Dehradun, where I ask him, print lena, and he's like, nice pictures. By the way, you think my life is very fancy and beautiful, but it isn't. My parents are going through divorce, and you saw it was Yashna performing, but when you see Viraj, sometimes I see it as Mrunal standing, who believes in love and who tells me that, okay, I will listen to what you have to say, but at the same time, I am the one who's going to make you fall in love, make you believe in love, make you believe in these emotions that every human being deserves to witness.
Absolutely.
So even when I would read the scene, I would sometimes see Yashna is it's a opposite character. Like Yashna and Mrunal are not similar.
Yeah.
I've had my family, like my mom and dad, they are so madly in love with each other, and I take so much inspiration from them that tomorrow if I'm in love, if I have a partner, I want it to be like my mom and dad. तुझा पासून कर्मेना तुझ्या शिवाय राहावे. I think there's some something. Yeah, so they are there. It's so cute love story. And you know what is beautiful is when I was having conflicts between Yashna and Mrunal, what I do is I kind of resonate Mrunal with one of the characters in the movie. So what happens as a third person? Because that will allow me to differentiate between who Yashna truly is and because I don't want to bring Mrunal on screen, because that's a big lie. People will find it. An actor's job is, what is my job? Not to feel the scene. Not to only feel the scene. But to lie. Because
you have to be a
perfect liar. On screen. But on personal life, I'm so bad.
I can vouch for that.
I am so bad at it. I'm such a bad liar. But on screen, you have to be a perfect liar. But what happens is when you differentiate the Mrunal and the character, and it is a very tricky one. I only discovered it when I was doing Sitaramam.
I mean, another scene in the film which left me as a third person, as an audience, I was conflicted whether or not Yashna is taking the right decision, which I felt was emotionally a little tricky, was when when there's a talk about the child and you first say that you don't want it because it was decided that we will never have it, and then of course within beats it changes, and I wasn't sure where this is going during that. And I believe as an actor you are also divided, right?
Oh God, I've had so many conflicts, that scene. Yeah, but I'll let you finish your question.
I just wanted to know, how do you deal with that? Because you have to somewhere let this bigger picture serve the purpose rather than that small moment, because maybe you're not convinced with that moment in the film, but you have to look at the larger picture, which could be slightly difficult because you have to keep your opinions a little subverted at that point. Does it happen?
Yes, it did, and it actually did. You won't believe the amount of discussions I have had, not about the scene, but what would have happened before the scene.
Yeah,
I mean, I always end up in a heated conversation because I really want to know what happened before, which the audience didn't see, because that's why you're connecting the loops, right? So for me, I was in a conflict, and I told my director also that this is like sheer manipulation. Why is he manipulating her to have a baby?
Yeah.
That's when in the movie I'm not just playing Yashna, I am playing Varsha also.
Yeah.
So in order to differentiate that
between the two characters,
two characters, sometimes you have to go through that journey in order to know this is not meant for me. Sometimes you have to be with the wrong person in order to know that this is the right person for you. And that's why for me it was, I accepted that challenge. It was a very challenging part for me, and it was, the conflict was just brewing inside my mind, and I would have sleepless nights. I said, how can she just say with this beat? But that's when you know, her love played an important role. Like she found Viraj then. Like प्यार में वो ताकत होती है, you know, who would mold you, who would transform you, would change you for good. And I have met so many couples in my life, like boys especially, what they were and what they've become after marriage. They're just like, they're like such saints, like wow, they're like ideal husband. So
you would have never thought they would be at one
point. And I was like, wow, okay. But having said that, it was important for Yashna to feel certain way so that Varsha could feel in a certain way. You know, that scene that you're talking about where she says yes was Varsha and not Yashna.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from.
But
you know,
in my head, it was Yashna. You know, there was never the name given Varsha. It was us. I came up with this thing. I was like, sir, this is pehli before interval wali Yashna ya after interval wali Yashna. So we decided to give her a name.
Different name.
So that when my director tells me it's not Varsha, it's Yashna, and I'm like, switch.
Yeah.
You see? So the name was introduced later, and if you see, there is one scene at the cafe where the rain starts falling, and that's when he begins the storytelling, and he didn't know because he can't say her name is Yashna. Galti se bhi Yashna aa gaya, to he'll be ruined. So you just look at the rain, and he's like, Varsha ki Sakshi mein, and that's how the scene begins. So that's how you start that scene, and that's how all these things were added later, and that's why it is Yashna and Varsha.
I have to also ask you about one more scene which really brought tears in my eyes almost instantly. Was the scene in the hospital where you have Nani, like really, I mean Viraj really like hug you from the back because you're broken. And I believe that as an actor it takes a lot to emote scenes like that, because how much ever you know, it's a technique, it's mechanical after a point, but these are scenes which can really affect you emotionally.
What I was worried about is because I'm not a mother. So I do not understand what it feels to lose your child or have a child born with illness. Shot and the entire I'm not like bragging about myself, but it's very rare that an actor gets clap, you know, everybody claps for you on that particular scene.
I want to clap as well, because I felt that when I watched that, I said, like, you know, instantly there were tears in my eyes.
And you don't know what your body is doing. You are angry at that person. Like I believed in you and you failed. You know, you told me that this kid will bring us joy, but what happened? What happened? Like you get so physical. Like, you know, you hit also sometimes. Like you hit your loved one, because अगर उनके साथ आप गुस्सा नहीं करोगे तो किससे करोगे?
Absolutely.
So all this conversation of guy hitting a girl and a girl hitting a guy, is it valid? I was like, oh guys, come on, yaar, it's relationship.
But again, the context matters. I feel the context in this film
again, context matters.
So when you're doing a scene like that, I believe the energy of your co-actor is equally important to be able to emote and be spontaneous enough, or let that freedom be where you are hitting. Maybe it's not on paper, but your co-star also lets you be, right?
It was not mentioned. The scene actually ended where she says that, that entire monologue, and that's it. That was the scene.
So I want to know how important is for you to have actors or to work with actors who are as secure as you are, to be able to just
shine,
be, shine. Because I've seen where actors sometimes try to overpower their co-stars only because they can. Secondly, also in that context, Nani, how would you describe that entire experience?
I called Nani Garu on the 7th or 8th of January when the film released. And I said, I was reading, he sent me screenshots of couple of tweets, and he said that, Yashna, people call me natural star and everything, but you shined in the sea, Yashna is shining. And he's proudly sending me like, look, you've shined more, and I'm so happy that you did. I said, who are you? What are you? Like, he said, because this is not my film, this is our film. And when he said that, I just felt like so much immense respect for that man, because very rare actors who I've met, and they're so secure, and it's so important because if they shine, the entire film shines.
Absolutely.
And we need more people like Nani Garu.
I'm sure, and hopefully I'm looking forward to your slates, because I feel that you have been able to fill that void, like I said, which I crave for, which is the rom-com. You make me want to believe in love again.
Thank you.
Because I'm usually like very cynical. I'm Yashna in most parts. So I'm just like the most cynical person. So I think after watching Hai Nana, I was just like, maybe.
Don't have any don't look for love. It will come to you.
There's this reel where everyone is just like, they say don't look for me. So you're just walking like this. I think I'll start.
Maybe we are in that phase. Maybe in that phase, yeah.
But thank you so much, Mrinal.
Thank you, V.